Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to another Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer battlecast. So today we're going to be coming at you with a game between the Greenskins and the Wood Elves. And so first with the Wood Elves, we're going to have up in the vanguard here, we're going to have two groups of Glade Riders with Hagbane tips. And these guys are going to be really good at sort of screening out all the lightly armored greenskin infantry. They have poison missiles. They're very fast, so they're going to be super effective. Um, Up here, also in Vanguard, we have three groups of Deepwood Scouts, and Deepwood Scouts are super good again against the Greenskins because they have really high missile damage, a super long range at 180, and they have stock. Do they have stock? Oh, I'm sorry. I could have sworn this unit had stock, but I guess they don't? Oh, they do. Interesting. Usually if they have stock, it shows it up here, but yeah, they do have stock. Sorry, guys. So 3 units of Deepwood Scouts, they have stock, so they can't be seen unless they start shooting, or unless another unit sees them, gets close to them. And they're just really good at sort of kiting out a lot of the greenskins and taking down a lot of their lightly armored cavalry. Um, in the front, in total, we have 6 groups of Eternal Guard with shields, but in the front line we have 3, and they're kind of spaced out. And the reason they're spaced out is because I've got 2 groups of Dryads, kind of to fill in the blanks there. And Dryads have 60 armor, so they're fairly tanky for a melee unit. They've got 34 melee attack, 25 defense, 34 weapon strength, but they do magic damage and they cause fear, I believe. Um, yeah, they cause fear, and the Greenskins are in general a low armor or a low leadership faction. So anything that I can bring that's going to cause fear and like terror, that's going to be good. I've got 3 more groups of Eternal Guard just to kind of guard the back line. For my Lord, I've got Durthu here, Durthu the Tree Man, and it looks like, brought most of his spells to Flock of Doom, which is a big AoE damage spell, Amber Spear, which is a missile spell. That's really good. He's also got the Curse of Anrahar, which is a debuff for enemy lords and stuff. Sword of Daith, which is another damage-dealing AoE spell. Lamentation of Despair, which is sort of a magic missile attack. And then I think, last but not least, for the Wood Elves, we have a Spellsinger with the Lore of Life, and she is riding a great eagle with her awesome green hair. And she's going to be bringing Earthblood and Regrowth, and those are just going to be the general healing kit for Lore of Life lords in this game. Honestly, it's Earthblood's like an AoE healing effect, and then Regrowth heals one either group of units or one unit, and it replenishes a lot of hit points, and it's good against enemy armor piercing. So here, let's pause it because things are getting underway. We've got, for my opponent, we've got 2 groups of Orc Boy Biggins, and these guys are like, they have 60 armor, which isn't the highest, but it's not the lowest either. They have armor piercing though. They have anti-large. They're just a really good sort of shot cav unit to kind of charge in. So he's got 2 groups of those guys over here, and then he has 2 more groups of Orc Boy Biggins, kind of on the left flank over there. And then for his main army, he's got, it looks like 3 groups of Night Goblins in the front. And these guys, I believe, have stock. Yeah, so I can't really see these guys yet. They're invisible to me. They're expendable because they're goblins. They've got silver shields, which is actually 55% of all missile damage from the front will be blocked by their shields, which is pretty effective against the Wood Elves. They've got poison damage in melee, 27 weapon strength, which is pretty good. Behind them, he has, it looks like 3 groups of Orc Biggins, which are the Orcs sort of general like anti-large infantry. They're very mediumly armored with 50. Like it's not high armor, but it's not like super low either. They've got 42 weapon strength, which is really high. Bonus first large, so they're going to be good against any kind of Wild Rider play, or they can counter the Great Eagle fairly well. He's got 1 group of Orc Boys, which are just like standard Orc infantry. They've got low armor, they've got bronze shields. In the back, he's got 2 groups of Black Orcs, and these guys are sort of the heavy-hitting, great weapon armored infantry for the Orcs. They've got armor piercing. They have 110 armor, which is insanely high. They have 50 weapon strength, which is also insanely high. A lot of that is armor piercing. Yeah, 36. two groups of those guys. He's got for his hero, he's got a Night Goblin Shaman, and it looks like he brought Gorkle Fix-It, which is going to be real good against like Cav play. You know, Wild Riders and Glade Riders and that kind of stuff, and Sneaky Stealin', which reduces the power recharge rate of an enemy hero or lord, which is going to be pretty scary against my Lifecaster over there. And then for his lord, he actually brought Grimgor. And Grimgor, like lore-wise, in the Warhammer lore, he's like super powerful. He's such a beast. But in this game, I've found that he's just not. He's underwhelming. He's not that great. I mean, he's got really high melee attack, super high weapon strength with armor piercing, 120 armor, so he's super tanky. But that 45 melee defense leaves him kind of a little vulnerable, and he only has 3,800 HP, which is really low for like a Lord unit, even though he has high armor. Still pretty low. Anyway, let's get this game on the road. Let's get the show on the road. All of my Deepwood Scouts, the Glade Riders, the Hagbane Tips are going to be shooting in at these Boar Boy Biggins. And they're going to be doing a ton of damage again, because these guys only have 60 armor. That's not a ton. So all these like poison arrows are just going to be doing a lot of ammo. It's going to be debuffing their speed and everything. And the Spellsinger on the Eagle is actually just going to get a rear charge in on these guys at the last second, which is just going to break their leadership. She just kind of slaps those guys off their boards. That was pretty cool. And yeah, those guys are actually going to be routing already, which is really huge. I mean, that's like half of all of his cavalry is already routing off the battlefield, which is super good. But his Night Goblins are getting close. They're going to go in for a pretty sick Goblin charge. Let's check this out. Yeah, the Night Goblins will do fairly well against the Eternal Guard. I feel like they will... I don't know, actually. I've never... that's one of the matchups I'm curious about. But it looks like Durthu's going to get in here. He's going to cast Flock of Doom. He's going to overcast Flock of Doom on all these Orc units. So everything in this aura is going to be flocked right now. It's going to be some damage, which is going to be really good. And man, Durthu's animations are so cool. Just like slapping those Orcs around. It's awesome. And the Lore of Lifecaster is just going to be flying up ahead, just kind of looking for any openings she can get, and also maybe like casting some healing spells. And it looks like, though, there are two groups of Orc Boy Biggins that are going to sort of get around the back line, and the Spellsinger with Life is going to try and chase him down and just get whatever kind of recharge she can. Yeah, there you go. Looks like she just got one there, which did a lot of leadership damage. And these Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips are going to start sort of kiting the Boar Boys, which is going to be really good, because these Boar Boys, like, they'll get slowed down, they'll get poisoned. Like, they only have 62 speed, which is pretty slow for a Cav unit. And it looks like Grimgor's going to just be waddling in the background, just trying to chase down these Glade Riders, which is pretty funny. They're going to keep kiting. But yeah, these Black Orcs in the front line are actually cutting through my Dryads. These guys with their armor piercing and all their armor, they're just going to be chopping up these treemen. It's going to be real unfortunate. Oh, but it looks like Durthu just got a like a magic missile spell in on some of these Orc Boys, or Orc Biggins, excuse me, and they're going to be fleeing. But yeah, my Dryads are right on the brink of breaking. They're wavering, but it looks like they're actually stabilizing here because of some of those Orcs running away. But man, Durthu's just been such a beast this whole match. She's just been holding the line against all these, like, you know, medium to light to heavy armored, like Orc troops, Black Orcs, and Orc Biggins, and Orc Boys. But yeah, the balance apart is starting to go into the Wood Elves' favor as Grimgor does sort of get locked into combat on both sides by the Lore of Life Spellsinger and the Eternal Guards with shields. And this whole time he's being poisoned by the Glade Riders, so that's gonna... poison is so many debuffs. Look at all this. It's like armor piercing, speed, weapon damage, armor piercing damage, missile damage. All of that like minus 20%. Huge debuffs. But it looks like Grimgor's just barely going to manage to sneak out of this ball of Eternal Guard Elves. He's just going to be running away. It's really funny. They're just kind of chasing him down. But yeah, most of the Greenskin front line is wavering or broken already. Looks like these Orc Boys are going to kind of try and charge in on these Deepwood Scouts, but they're just taking so much fire from all the Wood Elf missile fire. It's just really cutting them down from the Deepwood Scouts and the Hagbane Tips, but it looks like they just barely might be able to squeak off a charge here. Yeah, and they get right into those Deepwood Scouts and just run over all these poor elves in the river. But they're going to get up, they're going to start fighting, and these Blade Riders are going to sort of charge in to give the Deepwood Scouts an opportunity to escape, just to kind of cover them and let these Eternal Guard with the spears and shields kind of get in the back and start stabbing some of these poor boys. Glade Riders over here are just still firing and just kind of applying poison to all these troops, and man, Dirthu is just still standing tall, holding strong, just anchoring the Wood Elf front line. These Black Orcs and Grimgor are actually going to start chipping away at his health pretty fast here. You can see he's going down, but man, the Black Orcs are wavering. One group is routing already. Grimgor he's winning, but I mean, it's just, man, these Black Orcs are just kind of getting grinded down by all the Eternal Guard, and that's one of the things about Eternal Guard is they actually have 20 armor-piercing damage. So even though, you know, the 1v1 they'll lose against Black Orcs, the fact that they have armor-piercing is going to be huge in this matchup. Like, you know, against this tattered group of Black Orcs, they're going to actually perform really well, and it looks like that is going to be army losses for the Greenskin player. So yeah, GG. Super good match. I love that matchup. It's so classic, like Wood Elves vs Greenskins. It's really fun. Let's take a look at the comps real quick. I'm not a great Greenskin player, so I don't know if I would really take the advice I'm about to give, to be honest. I don't know. I like the build that he brought. It just seemed like it was a little more focused on countering like a lot of Wild Rider play. I actually didn't bring any Wild Riders. I was just really dependent on, you know, Dirthu and the Eternal Guard holding the line with the support of the Spellslinger and, you know, all the Deepwood Scouts and the Glade Riders just shooting in at all the lightly armored Greenskins. But if he brought a build that was just honestly more swarmy, I think he would have, like, if he cut the Black Orcs and then just got more like Night Goblins, maybe some nasty Skulkers, maybe some like Goblin Spider Riders, just to like weave through, get through the back lines and take out my Deepwood Scouts and kind of catch the Glade Riders. I think he would have been able to take that out. But yeah, super good game. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, guys. You have a good one. All right.